All right, I'm home. I've got a headache. It's probably from not having anything to drink today before the game, because I do that. Tonight's game was boring in parts, fun in others. The Canucks lose the game in a shootout 3-2. The Senators outplayed them the whole game, really. Markstrom made a ton of saves, and then when they did the 3 stars at the end of the game, he didn't get one of the stars. And I don't understand why Michael Del Zotto got a star. I was watching the game. The one defenseman I thought did really well for the Canucks was Tanev. I didn't see what Del Zotto did. I have no idea. So that was baffling, as was the decision not to play Brock Besser again. I think the Canucks are going to have to really consider putting Besser in for the next game. They don't have any finish. And when you're getting manhandled by an Ottawa team that doesn't have Erik Karlsson, and for puck possession they were getting manhandled by Ottawa, you need your talent up front. And in that shootout, Besser would have been good too. In the 3-on-3 overtime, they missed Besser. I know Horvat had a good game against Edmonton. There must be some kind of an anti-Horvat sort of spray on me, because I've seen him 3 times live, and he's never done anything in a game that I've watched. He's never had a point in any of the 3 games I've watched live that he's played. I thought Vanek played well, but again, I was surprised at how physical Gagne is for a smaller guy. Gagne is a very physical player, and he throws hits and he takes them too. But as I said, Markstrom played really well. He stole the show. Anderson played well as well. Markstrom looked a bit shaky in the first, but he got over that quickly. Markstrom has to get over the Luongo problem he has. Luongo, as a Vancouver Canucks goalie, would allow goals early. And, the Canucks have to come back. Or Luongo's other issue was, if you didn't allow them early, you allowed them in the last minute of the period or the last minute of the game. So, it's a small thing. It's a minor thing. The highlight of the game really was, so the puck comes over the glass, and it gets caught up in the netting. So they work to dislodge it, and there was a kid there. Yeah. And an adult gets the puck and refused to give it to the kid. So the crowd starts chanting, "Give it to the kid. Mm-hmm. Give it to the kid." And booing this guy who has the puck. The puck, somebody took the puck because it was sitting on the ledge.
You guys said it on the boards.
Well, at first it got taken, and then it went to the kid, and the kid went back up to wherever he was sitting. And then magically a few minutes later, it's back on the boards. So I don't know what happened, but somehow the puck came back to him. So if you're watching the game on TV, and unless they told you what was happening, you'll have no idea what was going on and why the fans were going nuts. It was the loudest thing that happened all night until the shootout.
Really loud.
And so this one guy who was sitting about probably 5 rows in front of us, 5 or 6 rows in front of us, down towards the side, he goes all the way up and around, and he comes back down because the puck is sitting back on the ledge. He grabs the puck, and everybody cheered. Uh-huh. Everybody went nuts, and he ran as fast as he could up the stairs, almost tripped and fell on his face, and hands the puck back to the kid. A chant went up in the crowd of MVP. So if you heard an MVP chant, you're like, what the hell are they chanting for?
He came back in.
That's what it was. When he came back in, everybody chanted MVP. I was bowing to him as well. That was awesome. And there was a Senators fan who was sitting across the aisle from this guy and his wife. Now, the wife kept beaking off about it. The guy wasn't happy either, but the wife, apparently this puck was something special for her, because she kept beaking off about how it wasn't right. And she called an usher down, I think, 3 different times.
Oh, yeah, I saw her.
She kept calling ushers down. There was a guy selling 50-50 tickets, so she pulled him aside and she gave him a piece of her mind, and then the usher came back down. The usher kept shrugging. And it's like, I think it was because every time she moved, we booed her. Every time she turned around to talk to somebody, she got booed really, really loudly. So if you're watching the game on television, you'd hear random booing from a large section of the crowd, and every single player on the Canucks and Senators bench was looking towards that corner. Because I don't think the players knew what was going on either. There may have been a couple who knew.
Playing over there too.
Yeah. And it was just really weird because if you're watching on TV, it seems like there's random booing and cheering going on. So the usher refused to help her because the usher's like, look, I can't stop them from booing you. And
he asked that group of Senators guys, he did ask them to tone it down a bit.
Yeah, but still. They can boo.
Yes, but he did ask that one row of the guys.
Because as long as nobody threw anything at her, and as long as I never heard anybody directly swearing at her. The closest we got was that Senators fan that flipped her off.
Yeah.
The big Senators fan flipped the wife off when she got up to go over and talk to the 50-50 guy.
But he did it to her back.
It was still funny.
It was hilarious.
Because I could picture her saying to the husband, you go over and defend my honor.
That guy
and
was laughing the whole time.
The Senators fan was huge. He was bloody huge. So it's like, yeah, I wouldn't be defending her honor either. I'm sorry. But he's a big guy, and I don't want to go to the hospital, so I've got to apologize in advance now. But I can't see Yvonne being like that either. So eventually this kid gets the puck. We're happy, and in between the second and third, her and the husband get up, and the first thing I notice is he's got his jacket. So I'm like, all right, they're not coming back. On her way up, she's beaking at these fans who are beaking at her, and they're going back and forth every step of the way. She's arguing with fans while they're arguing with her.
And somebody else starts yelling at her.
And all I could think was, if you're a season ticket holder, if this woman and her husband are season ticket holders, they're in for a really rough season. Because she beaked off at every single person on the way out. And I couldn't even understand it. And the guy who's sitting on the other side of Yvonne, him and I talked and we agreed. It's a puck. It's a $3 puck. I know it's nice to have a souvenir from the game, but what are you going to do with it? Was this guy going to put it on his mantle? Because it was a puck that just flipped out of play. It wasn't a puck of consequence. It wasn't a goal. It wasn't a first goal of a guy's career. It's just a bloody puck. Let the kid have it. So they left. They didn't come back. Now, the interesting thing that happened then in the third was puck gets caught again. So this guy climbs up over top of his friend and they knock the stanchions and the puck falls down. So immediately the crowd starts on the guy who's got it. I think they started to give it to the kid.
He didn't. No, not that one. That one he turned right around to give it because the little baby girl was right behind him. It was the next one that he said give it to the kid because it fell right in his lap.
Yeah. So that's the thing now. And I have a feeling that may carry over in Canucks games from here forward. That if you get a puck, you are expected to hand it to a child. And I agree. Because for you or I, being adults, and I assume most people watching this at this time of night are going to be adults.
Adult-ish.
Getting a puck at a game, it's fun. But for that little kid, man, that's a prized keepsake. That's something they'll remember for the rest of their lives. So give it to the kid. So it's nice to see that. So that's how it works in Canada. I was thinking of that too. I was saying, Canadians have a reputation for being nice around the world. I wonder how people would feel if they saw this. Because we're being nice to these little kids, but man, we are just brutal with somebody who's not nice to kids. We are brutal.
It's because that person wasn't showing that just courtesy that you're supposed to have.
You're not courteous. We hate you. We hate you.
It's just a courtesy you're supposed to have, and they were just like, no.
And it was funny because you could see people going at this woman, and then her and her husband kept turning around and trying to explain themselves. And I said, I don't know what they're doing. Like, they can only make it worse. I cannot envision explaining to anybody, look, I bullied that little 5-year-old for a damn good reason. This puck is mine. I can't imagine. I just can't imagine. It's not like he did a lot of really hard work to get the puck either. So,
and that guy that stole the puck, did you see later in the game somebody got him a Canucks scarf?
Yes. The MVP guy got a scarf towards the end of the game. It was really amazing. And that was really the highlight of the game. So if anybody's going, if anybody's saying, Shannon, you're not talking much about the game, because the game was kind of boring in the second period. Wasn't a whole lot going on. And we missed a lot of it. It was like, I want to watch the game, but this cinema, this stage show that's happening right down here in front of me is really bloody entertaining. Now, our good friend Johnny Canuck, a subscriber on the channel, provided me with 2 jerseys today at the game. I'm going to include this in the post-game video because it was something that happened at the game. So I now own this Dallas jersey. I've been looking for this one forever. So thank you, Brody. It's greatly appreciated. And this Detroit Red Wings jersey. So I have a Red Wings, but it's the Centennial, and now I have the white Red Wings. So those are 2 jerseys that I have been actively looking for and trying to find deals on, and now I have them. So it was a good night all in all. I know Yvonne had a good time.
That was fun. Yeah.
And I didn't hear you booing the couple, and I didn't hear you. You didn't get up and cheer.
I was busy laughing.
You didn't get up and cheer when goals were scored, or scream with me when Brandon Sutter on.
I don't scream at games.
Brandon Sutter on a shootout. God's sake, he didn't even hit the net. I knew he wasn't going to hit the net.
And besides, between you and the guy sitting next to me, you guys were doing enough screaming, so.
I don't understand.
You two yelling and swearing at him, so.
I couldn't believe that. I'm like, Gagne. Gagne. Good idea. Put Berchi out there.
Yeah, you and the guy next to me were saying the exact same things. I don't know if you two could hear each other.
No, I couldn't really hear him because I was too busy being angry.
You were both doing, seriously, him? No! Why are you playing him? Both of you were doing
And then when the shootout winner went in for Ottawa, I had my head down because I couldn't look. I knew it was coming. I was like, Stone. Oh, yeah, Ottawa's being smart. They're actually using their offensive players. We have our best offensive player watching the game and not playing it because that's the smartest move. So hopefully for the next game, Brock Besser will play because he needs to make his season debut as soon as possible because the Canucks need scoring. They need scoring. Their goaltending's fine. I think their defense is shaky, but I think it'll be okay. It's the offense. I love Henrik to death. He had 2 assists tonight, and I like Daniel, but I saw it with Daniel tonight. He has no confidence in his shot. He had 2 or 3 times where he had a straight shot at the net, and either skated it away or he passed it. And it is really hard to watch that because I remember Daniel as recently as 3 years ago, he would wire those. Those were pucks that were getting wired. And I don't know if it's confidence or if it's just he knows he can't do it. Maybe a combination of both. If you watched the game, let me know what you thought. If you were at the game, let me know what you thought. If you were one of those Senators fans, you guys made the game fun to watch. There was a loud crowd. It was a raucous crowd. Because they were the cheapest tickets of the year, because the demand for an Ottawa game apparently is almost nothing, there was a lot of fans like myself who were in the lower bowl who normally wouldn't be there. And it was fun. That was a fun crowd. We didn't get that dead in the lower bowl and really loud up top. That didn't happen tonight. There was loud in both areas, and it was a fun arena. It was fun. There was a lot of empty seats. I think it's a weeknight. It's Ottawa, and people anticipate the Canucks not being a playoff team this year. So for those reasons, there's a lot of empty seats. I don't know if those tickets were sold and those people didn't show up. That's a whole other thing entirely, but there were a lot of people walking up to buy tickets tonight, so I don't think ticket sales were particularly brisk for this. So let me know what you guys think. Hit like and subscribe if you were there and you're watching this now and you want to leave comments below, and I'll talk to you guys again soon.